Hello and welcome to Theta Talk. I am delighted to be your host for the day. My name is Peter Reynolds and I'm the CEO of Theta and I am delighted to be joined here by Cedric. As I'm sure you all know, we have recently announced some fantastic news, which was our first acquisition, the acquisition of Screena. And I'm delighted today to talk about all things screening and to deep dive into AI-driven financial crime detection and to spend some time with Cedric. Cedric was the CEO of Screena and he's now our country lead in France. So both things very, very exciting. Cedric, welcome.
Thank you, Peter, for hosting me. It's really a pleasure to be here with you. Maybe I will also start by introducing a bit myself. So as you mentioned, I'm Cedric, I'm 44 years old, I'm French. I have spent more than 10 years in various leadership roles in different organizations, worked in many different startups, as well as large international corporate organizations. And I have a broad cross-industry expertise in many fields like RegTech, data analytics, software development, of course, as well as business consulting. And I also manage and I hope successfully implemented different large-scale ML projects and sanction screening solutions for different organizations, different profiles of customers like fintech companies, remittance companies, and of course large global banks.
Well, welcome. It's lovely to have you as part of the team. We are now completed the kind of integration of Screena into our company. It's been a great process, both the acquisition and I suppose the razzmatazz around an acquisition, but the reality of integrating the teams, and I couldn't be happier and prouder of how we've managed to do that. But take a step back for a minute. Why sanction screening and why found Screena? Let's start with kind of the vision behind Screena.
Well, first of all, historical challenges in the field of screening, with the difficulty, to deal with a massive amount of data that you have to process, the fact that there are more and more sanctions designations. And I can give you some examples, like between 2001 and 2021, so in a matter of 20 years, there's been like a surge in OFAC sanctions designations that were up by something close to 900%, which is quite significant. And on top of that, there were new geopolitical events that have profoundly impacted our industry and the sanctions landscape with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And here again, to give you a few stats, facts and figures, we have observed, for instance, that the US and European sanctions list have grown significantly, up by 30%. So it means more and more names on the sanctions list, and it also means that the sanction screening systems have to evolve with this new situation. And I say the primary issue, it's really about the volume of data, and along with that also the quality of the data that you have to process, which affects both customer data and also watchlist data. And the reason for that is that there are not really like good controls to ensure that the data are collected in the best and most structured way possible. And it's also something that we see on the watch lists, because there are different data formats, so it's very difficult to align everything to make sure that all those data formattings are always consistent. And then what remains really, of course, at the core of the screening industry is to be able to cope with all kind of challenges when it comes to match names, because the main point is to be able to match all those names in the most efficient and effective way possible. But the problem, I think, here is that there are so many challenges that you have to deal with, like names that are not well formatted, that are truncated or missing or out of other name components.
Sure, agreed. And I think the vision that we've been on, and I think this is where it kind of complemented, and this is where it was so exciting for us, is that Theta has been on a journey to go from a very well-known transaction monitoring company to a financial crime suite of products. And we made the decision to do transaction monitoring, customer screening, sanction screening, customer risk assessment, and put all that together into this platform. And I think let's dive into that from a visionary point. We started working with Screena, and I think we saw that the vision was working because, frankly, we started to grow together so quickly. I'd love to focus on that, and the experience you had leading up to this point in terms of growth is very exciting.
The first objective for us, of course, was to find a good product market fit to validate the vision. And in that regard, I have to say that the partnership with Theta was absolutely instrumental. I think that without Theta, we would not be where we are today. And Theta helped us, to approach new markets that were a bit more difficult to approach just with a small group of people that were so focused on the product, because also our vision was to remain really experts in the domain of screening to really develop the best product possible. It's not always easy, to also spend time to find new customers, etc. And so the partnership with Theta was absolutely fundamental for the success.
And I think the timing was perfect, where we realized, and a lot of it was down to that approach of your team are experts in the product we need in the market for screening. Theta has a phenomenal sales organization machine, a wider kind of infrastructure for scale. And by putting you into that, we saw it was very exciting when you were partners. And I've just seen even what's happened in the last few weeks, we can see that the ability to make that much bigger is great. And the market has been so excited about what we've done. So that's exciting. And I'd love to get your view on some of those early wins we did together. Let's talk about maybe a fintech and a bank, and maybe start with a banking example and your experience of working with us and going into these new markets. This is really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Well, of course, there is a first example that come to my mind, which was really fundamental for the success of our partnership, which was the implementation of our sanction screening solution for Travelex in Brazil, Travelex Bank. And I remember during those days it was quite of a challenge because the process was very intense in a way that, first of all, the objective was to complete a phase of POC, proof of concept, that should be completed in a matter of only 3 days. Imagine 3 days to integrate a new system and to demonstrate that you can solve the challenges and the problems faced by a customer. And that was, I think, the proof, the evidence that we had the right solution, and all the choices that we made when we started the product were validated. And some of the challenges also that Travelex was facing, that wanted to solve during this POC, was to demonstrate that the system was robust enough to process a huge volume of payments. Travelex Bank is operating on a large market, which means that every day they have to process tens and thousands of payments per hour, and that was one of the objectives of the POC. And after this phase, where we could really demonstrate that our system was strong, performant enough to stand this kind of volume, then was the time to go live. And to surprise the expectations, was that the system should be put in production in a matter of only, I think it was 3 weeks. Only 3 weeks for a project like that.
3-day POC, 3 week to go live. Simple.
Yeah. But that was insanely fast. But we managed to make it happen. But actually, we're quite confident that we could do it. Because as I said, we have the right technology to get it done. And the thing is that we decided intentionally to work with the latest standards in terms of innovation, like working with cloud computing. Our screening engine is an API-first solution, which is built and designed to easily integrate with any kind of third-party application. And of course, we also have AI as a core component of our name matching solution, also to be able to solve the problem of the cost and frictions that comes with processing payments.
You know, that was very important to us, and I will dig into that a bit later on. But when we looked at the market, we are very passionate about AI being a key competitive edge, and I mean true AI, not marketing AI, I mean true AI. And of all the screening vendors, and we spent hundreds of hours and looked at many screening products on the market, and we found one of the biggest weaknesses was the adoption of AI was very weak, and I was very glad to see that, and that we could then also deploy it quickly. And of course, you know, Travelex Bank, of course, was made harder by the fact it wasn't just screening. Again, going back to that vision of having transaction monitoring, sanction screening, and other capabilities in one platform that can be deployed quickly. So it was not only was it exciting time for us, but it was the first time that we as an organization thought, you know, there's something special about this screening technology that fits with us. But let's also talk about fintechs, because one of the you know, when we acquired Screena and the team kind of got hold of the software, one of the amazing things is, you know, we've spent millions of dollars building out tier one banking relationships with the right infrastructure, and adding screening to that is something the team are incredibly excited about. And I won't ruin the surprises of what's coming, but there's a lot we're doing in terms of big banks, and that's going to be exciting. But I also think that ThetaTalk spent a lot of time making sure that we have this phenomenal, easy to implement product at fintechs. And I think the PSPs, the fintech space is hotting up, and the volume of transactions around the world and screening that is screened are huge. And we really think we can get to some incredible good scale.
But what was really interesting for us when we started partnering is that we managed to get really great traction with fintech companies across multiple different regions of the world. We have many fintech companies working with our products, and not only our screening engine, but also transaction monitoring. And they are able to easily, you know, have this integration between the different components of the financial crime detection stack, as I like to call that. And yes, we have a strategic and important customers that we are serving today, like Onafriq. It was one of the first fintech companies for which we proposed and delivered our solutions. And we have seen the volume of payments growing quickly over time. And this is also, I think, a good sign that we have also the right tool to help our customer grow faster. And they can also more confidently, you know, try to have and explore new growth opportunities on new cross-border payment corridors. They can also try to go towards new markets, geographies that are traditionally seen as a higher risk.
I definitely took a lot of feedback from Onafriq, and they were, you know, one of the companies that said, hey, this is really smart technology. Like this is easier to implement than other things we've seen. So that was also a great help. And tell me how this ability to be better at screening, and when I say better, I don't mean this kind of like bland, you know, what's better. I mean finding financial crime, helping businesses be more efficient, making sure the regulator allows people to operate, the real fundamentals. What was your approach to make sure you really had AI that wasn't a PowerPoint AI as we see sometimes, and real AI that helped customers get to those goals?
Yeah. Well, AI was really a big game changer, I think, in the screening industry, and how to deliver better results, to be more effective, efficient, in a way that the industry was always, facing the same kind of issues with the number of alerts delivered by the screening system. And there was an obvious reason for that, is that most of the legacy screening solutions are still operating with, I would say, simplistic kind of algos or name matching techniques that are based on fuzzy matching algos. And with only those few sets of techniques and algos, it's very difficult to overcome the systematic kind of problems that you have, which is to optimize both the effectiveness of your screening engine and also the efficiency, because you're always trying to find the right balance between both of them, and sometimes you try to optimize, to fine-tune the system to reduce the risk of missing true hits, which is of course an important objective for any regulated financial institution. But when you do so, as a result, you end up with a huge amount of hits, of alerts, and then you try to continue this work of optimization and find a workaround to bring the number of hits as low as possible. And when you do so, you have unfortunately the unintended consequences, where actually the effectiveness of the screening engine becomes reduced. So it's very, very difficult to find a way to optimize your screening engine. And this is where AI really becomes a game changer, because when you combine AI with the traditional fuzzy matching technique, then you can break, you can overcome this problem, which is a tough nut to crack, I would say.
And I think we find more and more in the industry, we're talking about AI is no longer a buzzword. I think our vision has always been, and we often get customers talking to us, we know on its own any kind of tool isn't going to be 100% right all the time. We probably all would agree that Putin isn't sending payments from Putin address red square so screening can say stop. We all know that there's much more complexity in financial crime. And so screening backed up with transaction monitoring, backed up with other tools, and having that holistic platform where you can say, this is how we stop this is how we stop that, to a regulator, to a management team, to show you've got the best controls in place to take on what is a huge problem that at the moment we're not winning. Financial crime is, horrifically to say, financial crime is growing, and the combination of state-of-the-art technologies deployed quickly at financial institutions so that they can stop this problem is something that is mission critical to us at ThetaTalk, but us as a society. Let's talk. We talked a bit about innovation there with AI, but what's most exciting for you as we embark on this joint journey together? What's exciting for next year?
Well, for next year, I would say that joining forces with ThetaTalk will allow us to unlock a lot of opportunities that we can see by having a holistic platform and to integrate all the different building blocks of the financial crime risk management stack. And to me, the point of this acquisition is to accelerate the implementation and the realization of our shared vision, which is to develop and provide to the market the most effective and efficient tools to fight financial crime.
I also think one thing that really excites me is our ability to own the roadmap of the combined financial crime platform. Theta has really invested in people. So we have people ex-law enforcement. We have product teams who come from banks, fintechs. Like, we have people who have walked the walk. And I think what we've done by bringing practitioners, law enforcement people, and now extreme product people who really understand the ins and outs of the product is game changing, and this is really going to have a multiplier effect, which I'm very excited about. And by the way, I'm also very excited about our continued investment in France. You know, I think people know that we work with some of the biggest, you know, French banks, and it's always been a region that we're very excited in, and we've always been a incredibly multicultural organization. We have offices in, you know, New York, London, where we are today, Madrid, Israel, Dubai. And I think France was always the next thing to us. So having a kind of out-of-the-box French office is obviously very exciting, and that's something that I personally am very excited about. I got to say, let's talk a bit about screening specifically now, because there is some big industry issues that if you are working in financial crime, or if you're working in sanctions screening, there's some big changes to the industry, which was one of the business cases we thought about when making the acquisition. So maybe just give us the high-level overview on what's changing.
Yes, there are significant, important changes that will, I think, profoundly impact and transform business operations for European payment service providers. And if you are probably aware of that, there is a new instant payment regulation that is about to enter into force. And payment service providers in Europe will have to comply with this regulation before the 9th of January next year.
Wow.
And so with this new regulation, PSPs operating in the European Union will also have a new set of obligations when it comes to sanction screening. And what the regulation states is that payment service providers will have to identify whether any of their payment service users are persons or entity subject to sanctions. And they will have to identify that immediately after the entry into force of new financial restrictions. And the time frame to comply with this new regulation is extremely short. And that's where you also need to have the right tools, the right technology to quickly adapt to this new situation. I think it's a very exciting moment, because what the market can sense now is that actually with the kind of platform that Theta is developing now, we will have all the building blocks of the financial crime compliance stack, and we'll be able to better integrate them to provide a holistic view over all the kind of financial crime risks. So the idea here is to really deliver greater insights to our customer. And as I said, this is really like an in-house proprietary technology, which make it very easy now to integrate. And it's on top of that, I would say it's not like you have multiple different components working in silos. Here the objective, the keyword is to break those silos. And on top of that, we also have the right people to make it happen. We have a team of experts that have a long time experience dealing with all issues relating to transaction monitoring, customer risk assessment. Now we're also bringing our own expertise in the field of screening.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's been really nice conversation. I think our vision has always been very clear to the market. We've always been very clear that we wanted to become an end-to-end platform to help prevent financial crime, and I'm delighted that we're delivering on that. I think it was also very important to show that we can build products. So our customer risk assessment product that we've built and delivered to many banks and fintechs around the world, and that we could partner and that we could acquire. And I think that there's a incredible excitement at Theta that we've done that. So you have a platform, you've proved that you can build products in that platform, you proved that you can acquire products and put it in that platform. The future is really exciting, right? Because we can do more and more of that as we go. And look, we are very firmly committed to the fact that financial crime prevention is a real big thing. And it is very exciting to us to see the results we're having. And you saw recently we won, the best use of data for stopping human trafficking with Santander. This is a badge of honor we wear proudly.
This acquisition is not the end of the process. It's really just another important milestone as part of our partnership and the beginning of something new. And we want to really accelerate the pace of all the innovations that is already on our roadmap, and this is very, very exciting for all of us. And I really hope also that all the customers, existing and future customers, will see as soon as possible all the benefits, all the outcomes of this new relationship. And all the team behind Screena really wanted to make sure that if we join forces with a new organization like Theta, there would also be a perfect alignment in terms of value, in terms of cultures. And I can really see it day after day. I see all the people, all the employees being so passionate, first of all, being extremely committed. They really take full ownership. And this is really critical, I think, to achieve a great success and to deliver great value to the market. Without the people, okay, you might have the best ideas, you might try to work with the best tool, but it's not only about the technology. It's really about the people, the spirit that you can create. And yes, I'm very, very excited that we managed to create all those bonds between all the team, all the people. And I think, yes, this is really promising for the future of our relationship.
Thank you for listening to us. That is the end of our Theta Talk. Theta out.